soon. In all of my years of being a rap star, I have never profited until tonight. Got out of the Navy, V-painted white D, showing up that punk bitch album William Barclay. Back to the West Coast, house rap I rap and boast. Hate you is seen with me, making commies toast. Mama was a Quaker, said never be a faker. Pious as a saint till I make your lady shake her. Money make a Galactica break, I'll break it down for y'all. The presidents and residents, you bitches know I did it all. Breaking China like a bull, y'all. Knocking down that great wall. Foreign policy, gun animals are being free fall. Music road, drugs control, so you're so feeling bold. Do what I can in Vietnam and turn the war in back to cold.
Live. Hi. We missed you.
We're live. Hello. Hello, Twitch. Hello,
We're not on Rumble today.
guys. Ready? Are we on Rumble?
Not today. I
We're not
forgot
on
to set
Rumble.
it up.
Not
for
today.
Rumble.
Sorry, Rumble. We're not there today. But yeah, welcome back to session 30 in our campaign of Adventures in Aranor. In last session, you guys went searching for Goliaths. Found your way to the fort, which the slavers are using as their central point for corralling their slaves before shipping them off to the continent of Promethea. Managed to get in under the pretense of an audit, and had an audience with one Sir Sebastian.
One Sir Bingus. One
Say
Sir
that again?
Bingus.
He was wonderful. I love him. And
10 out of 10.
learned
Word strangle again.
that the number of Goliaths currently housed was too small for
15?
what you wanted.
Yeah, 15.
And the understanding was that a fresh batch would probably be delivered within the next 2 weeks, which would likely give you the numbers that you were looking for, and that with the pretext that there was a planned attack on the slave ship when it left, that an early departure going down to Ragged Point instead of heading west to Promethea would can't remember exactly what you said, but that there was a good reason for doing this, and so you left
That's what we
to wait
believe.
with the agreement that once more Goliaths had been delivered, Sir Sebastian would light a candle in his window, and then would come and meet you that night at one of 3 taverns. I can't remember if it was the Gilded Lily, the Boastful Bard, or the Thorned Rose.
I don't think it was
Whatever
the
one we're
Lily.
not actively staying at.
Yeah, whichever one we haven't built up a clientele of
Yeah.
enemies at.
Wait.
Um,
I thought it was the Stumble Inn we were staying at. Or was
you
it
st-
not?
you were
No,
staying
that's
at the
where we
Stumbling,
were.
or Stumbling was where you had initially gone. I'm not sure if you
Gone,
had picked
yeah.
where you were going. to
Yeah. We
stay
picked
yet.
something. I don't remember which one we picked.
Well, you have Thorned Rose in chat, so maybe that one.
That'll be the one then, I would imagine.
Possibly.
And it was after we talked to the idiot, because I'm Sebastian Warsmith, idiot, fool, and Sylvan. Is what I put.
Yeah, Thorned Rose. I'm guessing we stayed there.
I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
So, how would each of you like to spend your waiting time? Have any specific things that you would like to try and achieve? I know Delilah you'd probably like to do some investigation into whether or not Zero is in or around town.
Let's have a look.
At some point, I want to be messing with Casimir's hand axe in various ways. So we can probably do that whole pull to Delilah thing. So I think that'll be a fun mechanic to play with.
Yeah.
So for Delilah, a lot of her time, some of her time will be towards like fucking with Casimir's equipment. The other times would be like scoping out the area and getting a good feel for the town and where buildings are, and different useful information for the future. And then probably finding any type of magic or scrolls I can look into. Anything to bolster my ability to kill Zero in the future.
Okay. So if we start with
Oh, and I could also be building Detritus's little shoulder cannon.
Shoulder cannon. I love it. Oh, and could Delilah also like draw a schematic for Detritus to take to a blacksmith to turn his T-Rex skull into a shield?
How big is his skull?
Big.
Yeah. So it's like a
the
tower
size of the
shield.
T-Rex.
Like a tower shield full on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that'd probably be easy enough.
just like a picture of a T-Rex skull, and then Detritus for scale.
Yeah. I imagine you'd probably have to put some like shock absorbing things in between whatever you're holding in the T-Rex skull, or like imagine if we use wood, it's just going to shatter eventually. So
it's more an engineering thing than a smithing thing. So I feel compared to.
So, the ship that we're gonna need are we going with the pirates? Or are we going with whatever they provide us? And then, like, we're gonna need some pirates either way to steal the ship, right? For our benefit.
possibly, if we get Jack off to help us in our mission, he could just place us on the ship basically, and then when we're at sea, we can get attacked or whatever, kill anyone who wouldn't agree with us, and then we just have the ship. No need to involve a secondary ship.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like in terms of crew to steal the ship that's on our side.
Yeah. Well, we could always have him hire people too.
Yeah.
But that might get more suspicious. Who knows?
Would it not be a good idea for us to take the ship from within, and then pirates come over, like board onto it, and they help us steer the ship?
Yeah, I like that idea because we could always just say we were overpowered by the pirates too.
Oh no! The pirates, they're too strong.
Stab the captain of the slaving ship. Oh no, they've bested us.
Okay. In that case, I have an idea on what Casimir would get up to.
Is it murder?
I think.
Is it buying floaties for Detritus?
Oh yeah. Detritus. Angus, just putting it out there. If there's an apothecary in town, we may have to like Mr. T Detritus to get him on the ship. Don't know if I'm showing my age there. I ain't getting on no plane. Medicate him.
Well, we can give you
funny. Not scared.
Or is there like a potion of water walk that we can buy?
Oh, that'd probably keep him calm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even if the unlikely happens and you fall off, you can just drink this, and you can walk on the water as if it's round.
Just
or also a potion of water breathing.
Yes, I don't want him panicking while he's under the water.
I can't imagine him swimming very well. Slowly
we'll get him on
sinks.
top of the
Yeah,
water.
well, at least I'm
and,
not going to drown for the next hour. He
Yeah,
slowly descends into the depths.
well, you can walk on the bottom
By
of
a
the
shot.
sea.
Yeah, just jogging on the seabed.
Water walk would be a good bet.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so in terms of scrolls, what sort of thing would Delilah be looking for?
In terms of what? Sorry, you broke up.
Scrolls.
Scrolls. Well, I mean, can we get water walk?
Ooh,
Or,
I have a
Ace
mechanical
maybe?
question
Yeah, sure.
about that. I'll forget if I don't. Barbarians can't use spells when they're raging, right? Can I drink a potion that has a magic effect?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah.
And
Yeah.
do I still get the magic effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
You can't concentrate or cast a spell. But if there's a spell that you don't have to concentrate
Okay.
that is
So if-
on you, then it can go.
So, like, if there was a potion
Yeah.
of enlarge, reduce,
Yes.
or something,
Yeah.
I could. Okay.
As long as
may
you're not
have-
the one concentrating on that
Yeah.
spell.
I may have massively missed some interesting opportunities there. Then. Okay. Sorry.
But
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah. And I was thinking, Detritus is going to keep an eye out for potions now. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay.
Haste is good. I'll grab that, or hypnotic pattern maybe.
Wait, are we sure that Carl isn't just doing a BG3 and no, or it was Angus that had the bag full of scrolls? He's forgot
That'd be
about
helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
would-
I am still very much a scroll hoarder and potion hoarder.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, haste or fly would obviously be really great, or enlarge and reduce. I think we could have some shenanigans up with that one.
Tea.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
I've been doing this D&D thing on the side, so I'm used to calling out for walls, not actually finding them. There it goes. Inspiration. Investigation. 18.
18. Okay.
Plus 27 if you allow it.
Okay. So, what level is Water Walk?
Don't know. I don't know. Let's Google it, shall we?
Level 3.
Yeah, I'd guess 3.
So, yes, you can get Scroll of Water Walk.
It is level 3rd. Yeah.
And you could get hold of a Scroll of Haste. And what was the last one you wanted? Enlarge.
Enlarge, reduce. I thought detect thoughts up there too, if you want to be extra. I think that would be also quite helpful for tracking down a zero.
What about, is there anything that lets you see if a creature's... Oh no, because it's not a magical spell that makes him...
Yeah, it's a
Change
physical
shape,
change.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and enlarge reduce. We can do that as well.
So would Moonbeam not work on him? Moonbeam? That's
No,
not-
because it specifically mentions shapeshifters.
Okay.
And those would be, they would set me back 200 gold pieces each.
Each?
Each.
Okay.
I say oof, sir.
I'm the treasurer. I should really know how much we have. I'll buy.
That would take roughly half of your of the 2 weeks downtime. Would be spent sort of working your way around and finding those.
Quiet power.
Wait,
Okay.
couldn't we do some odd jobs in our 2 weeks downtime to earn a bit of cash? Detritus can.
Well, there was the mention of pit fighting, wasn't there?
There was. Yeah, Detritus asked.
So yeah, Angus, I'll take all of those.
Okay. Mark off 600 gold from your pocket money, please.
Pocket. Party funds, more like it. Okay.
Okay. So, who wants to do some pit fighting?
Detritus. Detritus does.
Detritus. All right. So, you'd be able to do this twice if you wanted to, or once and then something else.
Okay.
Okay.
I would also like to go to the blacksmith to get my shield made. So, one pit fight and one arguing with the dwarf about the practicalities of T-Rex heads, I imagine.
All right. So, I am going to need
What you need?
strength check first, please.
Okay, I accidentally opened up someone else's character sheet.
Angus, can I change that scroll of water walk to a ring of water walking and just give that to Detritus?
We'll come back to that in a sec.
Okay.
Strength 20.
Okay. And then can I have an acrobatics check?
Sure you don't mean athletics there, Angus.
No. So did you just roll straight strength on the first one? If
Yeah.
athletics is higher, just add whatever the difference is on your bonus to that one. So is it 7 7 instead of +5?
I'm confused. Sorry.
Strength.
So that first roll, I
strength.
I said strength, but I wanted athletics.
Oh,
I want,
okay.
I want 3 rolls from you: an athletics check, an acrobatics check, and then a constitution check.
Okay. So, sorry, repeat those. Acrobatics, athletics, con.
Athletics, acrobatics, con.
Athletics. Can we take the original strength?
Yeah.
Acrobatics. And a con. Just straight con or con save?
The straight con.
Boop.
Not too bad.
So 21.
Well,
14, 16.
24.
24? Oh, yeah, because
Athletics.
it's 5 instead of the 8. Yeah, so it should be +3. Good catch, Carl.
Okay, so of your bouts that you fought, you only won one.
Was it at least the champion?
But you did win 50 gold pieces.
Fine. It's supposed to like Cecil the accountant or something. Add 50 gold pieces to the party fund, Mr. Treasurer, please.
Okay.
Or to try to
Dal
spend
takes
it
that
on-
and then immediately learns enlarge reduce with it.
Okay, and what was Casimir wanting to do?
Right,
this
so I got
time?
3 things. First
Okay.
of all, I would like to find a way to get in touch with the pirates.
Yeah.
Probably begin by going to that sort of the place that we teleported into. Sort of trying to get such that way if we can. Yeah. And my aim with that is to basically let them know of the plan, and so that they're ready. Just basically figure it out so that they can be ready to come and help us steer the ship to where it needs to go once we've taken it over. And
So you got a
I
couple of
guess-
options for getting in contact with the members of the Red Sun. You know where Bick and Leaffoot tends to frequent her evenings,
Mhm.
Stumble in. So you could sort of speak to her there.
That's probably the best bet.
Roll me a
And I guess their benefit of helping us out on this is the fact that, you know, they'll get a ship and whatever's on it except the Goliaths once they help us. So
But they can keep the
Yeah.
orcs.
roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
okay. I was about to click athletics. I don't know why the hell I would do that.
Just flexing.
Natural 20. 23.
Nice.
Nice. Yep.
Bravo.
Bicken promises that she will reach out to Captain Carlisle and will pass on the messaging. Few days later, she comes and finds you and lets you know that Carlisle's on board. They have set sail from
Pun intended.
Ragged Point and are just cruising the coastline currently, and will await further instructions when you guys are ready to go.
Okay.
And so just need to
Well,
let her know.
How would we let her know which ship it is and when we need her? Is there a
Um,
Light
way?
a candle. Seems to be
I
the
mean,
trend.
you've got a couple of options. You said you can just come and find her like the day before and
yeah.
let her know the details, and she can forward those on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is there any other option? Or
you
I have an
can leave-
extensive gang of
Yeah,
vagamuffins.
you can leave a message with the tavern keeper of the Stumble Inn as well.
I'll
It is a friendly locale to the cause.
right. I'll try and get, because like the candle will be lit at night, I imagine. So
He just puts out.
the moment we know what?
Sorry, I just think this guy's such an idiot. He'll like put it out at noon and then think, "Oh, they haven't answered yet," and then take it down.
So I'll just the moment that we decide when it's gonna happen, I'm gonna try and, if I can just like figure out how to get in touch with her like ASAP, so that she can be ready like the next morning kind of thing, or like let her know by the next morning or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
What
you
was the
remember
name again?
that the plan was that Sir Sebastian's plan was that once he's lit the candle, he would come to the tavern and you would meet there and discuss the next steps. So it's not a case that the expectation is that the candle would be lit and then the ship goes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, that's fine then. I'll basically either find her or speak to the townkeep to just tell her that plan is on go.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one. The other thing I'd like to do is I wanted to scout out a little bit. Scout out the docks, scout out that jail, where they keep the slaves and stuff. Just familiarize myself, see if I can see any like obvious weaknesses, things like that. There's like a plan B or anything. And also if there's any way of me finding out I might maybe like ask Delilah for like a little help. If there's any way to find out, to obtain the information of what kind of ship it is, so I can look on the docks and familiarize myself with, like, the layout or anything, like know what I'm getting into before I get into it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm more
we can
familiar
have a
with
quick
things like that.
discussion with Sebastian, find out what type of ship it is, and then we could go to the docks, or not the docks, the library. It's like a dog, but for knowledge. And then just study that type of ship. That seems easy enough.
Yeah, possible.
Assuming he knows what different types of ships are.
He had lots of registers and stuff.
Or if you could recall, like, from his book, what was the name of the ship or anything like that, and then we could try and find out what kind of ship it is.
Floaty one.
I mean, from it wouldn't be the normal ship because that's still on route back.
Yeah.
Sort of 6 to 8 weeks for the scheduled ship to return. Yeah, I imagine that you'd be able to have those discussions.
I guess we'll
roll an
ask like what
investigation
ship will be on. Can I have Delilah's help for that check?
Sure. As long as Amos
For
doesn't
like
say no,
you know
I'm
a
happy.
day,
Nope. Yeah, no problem
like
with
a
that.
day's worth of help or whatever. Investigation, so that's advantage for investigation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please roll high. Nice.
18. Okay.
18.
So initially, in terms of investigating the fort, certainly the city side of the fort, the area that you'd entered the fort initially when you got in to see Sir Sebastian, was it appeared that the defenses of it, or the majority of the guarding, was focused on those contained within rather than specifically preventing an incursion from outside. They appeared to be more concerned with guarding the prisoners than
Above board.
preventing defending against an attack. From different angles, you sort of see that the more northern area of the fort, particularly sort of the northwestern side, was quite sort of battery style, in the sense that it's had been built and was there to help defend the city from an incursion from the sea. There was cannons and ballista that were sort of mounted on the walls. In fact, the very room that you had been in with Sir Sebastian, his office, was one of the sort of the pointed elements of the seaside defense. The walls were thick, but not particularly high. We're not talking like city curtain walls, but sort of 10, 15 to 20 feet. Towers on the east and western corners of the southern end of it. And the fort itself was quite easterly positioned within the city, quite near to the actual curtain walls of the city itself.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess my reason for finding that stuff out is to figure out if there's like any potential plan B if we have to like bail on the ship and try and get the slaves out of the place and get them out of the city. So if there's like anything for like either a way to, either like using like a sewer system or like a sort of warehouse not far that we could hide them in, for the time being, that kind of thing. Like anything that will remotely like get us foot in the door for the plan B, to begin, if things like that, like sort of yeah, like whatever I can see to come up with, I guess, as well as obviously the weaknesses for the thingy, so that so that we can basically take them out then and like put them in a place where they won't immediately find them, or get them out in a way that they won't see them going out, or something like that.
So you only see 2 visible entrances into the fort. There's the main doors that you entered through, and then you gather that is probably where outbound slaves exit when they're being boarded onto a ship, rather than the southern door.
Okay, what about, is there a way from that exit to one of the local like sewer systems or anything like that? Sort of by the docks, so we can like enter like tunnels or sewers or anything of that sort near them? So that like if we manage to get them out that way, they could quickly run into a sewer of sorts, or tunnel of sorts. Like, again, this is plan B stuff. This is just
with your 18.
precaution.
I'll say that you see along the exterior of the western wall that there is a barred grate that appears to lead down into a sewer system. It doesn't look like it would be a suitable ingress or egress point, but it does certainly give you the idea that there is, at the very least, a sewer system that services the fort. And while you can't see one from here, you would have to investigate through the sewers to see if you
we could either find
it
it that way, or potentially take them out that door and then wait, what?
Sorry. Ignore us.
Fucking out of play.
Yeah, so either I was so confused. Yeah, so potentially either if we manage to find that, or take them out that door and take them into the system outside of the fortress, that would be maybe doable, right?
Probably not doable to get them out of the fort and then into that sewer from that entrance, or from that that grate. It was small and barred.
Right. Okay.
So the difficulty there would be removing the bars and then fitting Goliaths down the hole. There may be an entrance or a more suitable grate within the fort itself. But you would need to sort of go investigating from the other end. So sort of rather than finding your way into the fort and finding a suitable place, maybe venturing in the sewers and try and find your way.
That's okay. I'll put a pin on that
below the fort and see if you can find something there.
I'll put a pin on it. It's a plausibility.
Yeah.
at the moment.
And you do find a couple of blocks to the south of the port that there are a couple of warehouses.
So we could kind of take them there for the night or something, and then figure out what to do.
Potentially,
throughout the night or something.
with some negotiation potentially with the proprietors of said warehouses, if you wanted to try and do that in advance, or.
I was more thinking of sneaking them into an empty place during the night, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
More like literally as a temporary, like say
Okay.
shit's gone tits up, we don't have the ship, things are going down, we get them into the sewers somehow, we get there, get to the warehouse, and then we're like, okay, now we need to find a way to find them, get them out of the city, right? Like it's, step one, getting them out of the place.
Yeah.
Now we'll try and figure something out. It's just a place so we don't have them in the middle of the street while we're trying to figure it out. That's all it is. Because there's a few of them.
You're able to find not a warehouse, but there is a few abandoned buildings, and they're a little bit further away than the warehouses. But yeah, there's a couple of boarded up houses that would be suitable.
Yeah. This is like potentially at most throughout the night, hopefully, like I don't know how long. Again, I don't have a plan. I'm just thinking of,
Pre-plan. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Detritus.
Yeah. Can I say if I do have any, and if there's any other time that I do have free, you can decide. I'll just like look for like some security job or something if possible.
You're not coming in with those.
Okay.
So you can decide how long that all took me, and then whatever I can do.
Okay. So, how would you like to work? Would you like to work with your strength, dexterity, intelligence?
Strength.
Roll me an athletics check.
It's going to make you work the pole, Carl.
24.
Nice. Okay. You are able to earn enough gold for a comfortable lifestyle for the week, with an additional 25 gold pieces.
Okay. So how much is that? 25 and
Total of 27.
27. Cool.
Yeah. Desmond's already taken off lifestyle costs from the party gold for the time.
Yeah, I figured 2 weeks for miscellaneous things.
So I can add 27 to my.
Just add 27 to that,
Cool.
yeah, to yours.
Sounds good.
Detritus need toothpaste.
Sounds good.
Exactly, yeah.
Triple ply
like-
toilet paper.
18 of the 20 gold is just going towards food for detritus.
So detritus, you haul your T-Rex
witch.
skull
Yeah.
to a number of different blacksmiths shops throughout the city, with varying degrees of sneering and laughter at your request to
The brave
convert
blacksmiths.
your skull into a shield. Roll me a persuasion or intimidation
I
check.
think we both know how that's going to go.
And can I assist this
Kindle Lighter,
way
come
by
along.
like providing blueprints of like, look, I know it's silly, but it's possible.
That would help it on a persuasion check, I think.
My persuasion and weirdly, my persuasion and intimidation are actually the same.
Okay. You're a charming fella.
Oh wait, no, they're not. My persuasion is 0. My intimidation is 3. I cannot read.
But surely it's easy to like push somebody to do something if you explain that it is possible, so they don't feel like they're up against a brick wall.
It's also possible that Detritus
It's also hard to
literally put you
explain
through the
it
brick
while
wall.
someone's doing.
We fuck up the first couple, and then I go in and explain it first, and then he
Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't do this. Hey, if you check his blueprint out, it's very.
yeah.
The first one that's rude to Detritus, he just picks up the anvil and walks off with it.
So yeah, go ahead and roll me either your persuasion check or your intimidation.
So I'd get advantage on the persuasion, but I wouldn't on the intimidation.
Yes.
Math, baby.
Yeah, persuasion makes more sense then.
Probably. If nothing else, it'll
Don't
keep.
think about what makes more sense. Think about what Detritus.
Well, yeah,
would
Detritus has he likes small business owners. They're the
Yeah.
backbone of the economy. So
He likes not getting chased out of town.
do. 19.
yeah, and he is the ambassador for he's like building the folk hero image. So he can't just eat
It
people's
does take
animals.
some time before you find someone who is willing to entertain the idea,
Daring and
regardless of
innovative
possibility. But you do eventually find a younger dwarf who is quite far on the outskirts of the artisanal area
Streets
of the
ahead.
city.
Angus, can you
Um,
check your mic? We're getting a lot of static.
Yeah, I was going to mention something after the stream, but
Is that any better?
oh, much
Mhm.
Yes, actually.
Seems that
frustratingly easy to
the
fix.
mic the mic connection can,
Nope, it's
get tugged out a
little
little
back.
bit and still be connected, but provides some interference. So just reseating it seems to work.
Mm.
You're fucking with some chip bags just underneath the camera.
Plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
It would cost you 20 gold pieces.
Delilah, can I have 20 gold pieces of the money I gave you back, please? Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Yeah.
But after some time, you return, and this T-Rex skull he's reinforced some of the lower jaw with sheet metal, and created some bracing like across the jaw that he's managed to attach some leather straps to. It's unwieldy, it's heavy, it's comically large,
It's perfect.
but it will function as a shield.
Yes.
However,
And Angus, why you always do this to me?
it is a shield that is largely made of bone. So it will stand up to a number of critical hits.
Okay, all right. Okay, I
Before
see
it
what you're laying
breaks.
down. I like that. That's a nice flavor. Can I ask for the small amendment that we ask the blacksmith to just show Delilah how he's like attaching things to the bone? Because what I want to happen is that every time it gets shattered, we just like hodgepodge it back together with random bits of metal until like in a year's time, it's just like the most metal looking spikes and like just iron girders sticking out of it kind of thing.
I was thinking of like gluing it back together with gold. That way it looks like Kintsugi.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
like
like the pottery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Imagine how
It's
fucking
it's
beautiful that
largely
would
sort of so he's sort of shaped the metal to the the form of the jaw. So this is largely where the reinforcement is, and the attachment for the straps. And he's basically bored through the bone and the metal, and then was placed rivets through it, so the rivets hold the metal onto it.
Yeah, we can do that in the field without too much trouble if we need to make repairs. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's a good compromise.
And I know the technique, you can know the strengths to do it.
Detritus just punches it into shape. Just sits on it for a while, and it just curves to the right shape. So that was 20 gold. And
20 gold, yeah.
Same
take it up a mount.
stats as a normal shield.
Yep.
And then I'll just put limited crit resilience. And then I imagine you'll tell me when it shatters in the middle of the boss fight or something. I don't plan to use it a lot, but
the number is 1.
It's more than 1.
Yes. That's all I can ask for.
It's not much more than 1, but it is more than 1.
2 crits in a row, just fucking explodes.
That's the canon.
Okay. Was there any other downtime activities that we wanted to cover before
let me put this past you, Michael. We put the cannon on top of the T-Rex skull. You hold it in the eyes or like behind it or something, and then you could bash as if a maul with the thing, and then you could also have like a kobold friend or something fire the cannon, and Detritus can run around in the field in a giant skull. Like a tank, kinda. Like a Flintstone tank.
An actual tank.
We may struggle to get Angus on board with that. What might be possible, I'm thinking, is could you make the harness so that it attaches to the top of the T-Rex skull, so that Detritus could, theoretically, just jam the shield like a kite shield into the ground, and then one of you guys could come and just basically have a turret.
I don't know how useful that would be action economy wise, but hire somebody.
Not remotely.
Wholly inefficient use of
using
action.
turn to put it in the ground, so that losing the shield AC. But I don't know. That it just means that if we have an unarmed or an NPC with us, it could be quite a fun little thing, and it gets rid of the risk of it exploding Detritus's arm.
Yeah, just in front of his face in that case.
Would you be agreeable to that, Angus? Sacrificing a turn to set up this little, very slow to reload turret for NPCs or flavor?
I would, but I don't think we're going to have enough time during this downtime to do that as well. Given as Detritus has already spent half of his time doing
and it's
pit fighting.
Something that Delilah can do on the road because he's just putting together a harness, basically.
If we gather enough like raw materials and you carry everything.
Was there anything else that we wanted to cover? Delilah, you spent half your time searching for magic items. We wanted to... if you wanted to switch out the scroll of water walking for a ring of water walking, you could do that, but it would cost more.
How much more?
It would be 450 for the ring versus the 200 for the scroll.
So 250 extra?
Yep.
Well, buying and learning the scroll. How much was the scroll? You said 200 each?
200.
Okay. So buying and learning is 300. So if it's 450, I'll just subtract another 150. And we'll say it's a ring instead.
Okay.
If the math there is correct. Okay. In that case, I'll delete that from my spell list, and you can add a ring of water walking. Try this to see.
Yeah.
Da.
Helping your teammates overcome their fears through money and magic.
No, just avoid the fear, really.
Yeah, he's still terrified.
Okay, groovy. let's be on our lookout for large sources of money in the near future.
Maybe there's some treasure on the ship that we're going to steal.
Probably. I'm also assuming the cult will have some sort of like a, tithe or donation.
Cult fund.
Cult fund.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Feel free to add a ring of water walking to your inventory. It doesn't require attunement, which is nice.
Hey. And that just gives me the ability to walk on water. There's no like enchantment or anything.
So while wearing this ring, you can stand on and move across any liquid surface as if it were solid ground.
Lava might still burn you.
It definitely would still burn you.
Very painful solid ground.
Acid would still burn you and things like that, but you wouldn't submerge into it.
Oh. So just the bottom of your feet get burnt.
Yeah.
And then the bone, and then the ankle, and then the shin.
Slowly, just like when people pretend to go down escalators behind things.
Mm-hmm. All that like volcano.
Lino, can you roll me an investigation check?
Sure.
For the time that you spend searching for clues about Zero.
And opportunities to get lots of money.
23.
The money is secondary. Zero is the focus. Could say I'm zeroing on.
You spend the first couple of days just
stabbing random individuals
of the city, reading notice boards, just listing in taverns, that sort of thing, and you find a series of missing persons posters. Some of them are of different ages. Some of them are very old and faded. One you recognize as, and this is very old and faded one, that sort of has been layered over, but it sort of catches your eye as you're perusing. And you recognize it as the gentleman who you met out on out of the outskirts of the jungle.
The werewolf
Devon,
boy?
the werewolf.
Yeah.
One is much newer. Person has been missing for several days at this point. There was a white dragonborn had gone missing. His family were searching for him, and there was a reward for his information on his whereabouts. You spend some time asking around, and but other than sort of missing persons, there's not really much that comes up during your search.
Okay.
At this stage.
White Dragonborn.
Yeah, white dragonborn man missing 7 days. Okay. I'll tell the party about it.
Can you chase up on whoever put out the missing person poster?
Sure. Delilah goes on a whole X-Files episode worth of adventure on the side.
I'm skeptical.
So you venture and head to the address that's given on this poster as the people seeking information. and it's a female silver dragonborn who opens the door.
And the missing one was a white dragonborn?
A white, yeah. And she tells you that he's been missing for several days, 7 days. And she put the posters up around 5 days ago. And the previous day, she had someone come and claim to have seen him.
Previous day, as in previous day to
Delilah.
Delilah
Yeah.
coming. Oh, okay.
That he had been seen in one of the taverns. That he had been seen in the Boastful Bard. Which she couldn't understand, because that was a tavern that was well beyond their means for frequenting. A tavern that is a much higher class of patron than the life that they live. That he wasn't the sort of man who spent his evenings drinking in taverns, that he was very much a home bird that loved to finish work and come home and spend time with his family. He had been into the Boastful Bard, or had tried to go into the Boastful Bard a couple of times since receiving that information, but it had been turned away. At the time she'd spent sort of waiting outside, she hadn't seen him.
And this silver dragonborn lady is the wife?
Yes.
I dressed Detritus and Casimir up in a suit so they could be my Molder. And then I go and I go into the tavern. I look for this white dragonborn man. I also get details about his name and other proclivities besides being a homebody.
Detritus will tag along silently if that is convenient.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Casimir can find that.
Who's wearing the suit?
I'll wear the top half, Casimir can wear the bottom half.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I do request that you wear at least a tie so you can look like Magic Mike.
Detritus
So her name is Kava, Kava, and his name is Nadark, Nadarc.
Say that one again.
Nadarrc.
Nadark. Cool.
So you head to the Boastful Bard. And make your way inside. Make your way past the security at the door. There is a demand that weapons are not allowed inside the property.
We spend 20 minutes going through all Detritus's weapons.
It's a nice place. You know, we're talking sort of large room, vaulted ceiling, stained glass. There's a stage at the far end where there's sort of a string quartet playing, crystal chandeliers hanging from the ceilings, that sort of thing. And from the house that you've just come from, with Carver, you can certainly understand her statement that it wasn't the sort of tavern that they would have drunk in. They lived in a small cottage. It was a simple home. They were simply dressed, and this is very much the higher echelons of society that are drinking in this tavern.
Okay, I'll cast detect thoughts on myself and then ask a bunch of leading questions, trying to figure out if he's in the building in any capacity, be it like an indentured servant or like stolen through like a tunnel or something, to be left somewhere, asking a bunch of random questions and get a ping.
Uh,
I ask them if they believe in aliens. And then I say, no, I don't believe in, even though I'm fucking Fox Mulder and I obviously believe. It's happened like 7 times in the first season. He's like, oh no, that's silly, of course. They like might as well do the eyes looking back and forth thing.
Nice try, FBI. But like, Buffy is basically teenage X-Files.
Yeah.
I'm not even being too silly with that.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds very fun. Can't be edgy.
You spend some time chatting to members of staff, other patrons, asking questions and reading surface thoughts. It's the staff that give you the most, in the sense that that yes, a White Dragonborn had been in the tavern in the last few days. That he had been spending coin quite freely and drinking and carousing with other patrons. He even took a shift up on the stage and performed to much applause. But he wasn't there now. And hadn't been since the previous night.
So he missed a bite there. I ask a bunch of questions if he has shown any intention of coming back. They talked about him coming back or anything like that.
So with the detect thoughts, there not much was given in terms of intent to come back, but certainly the staff, as the wait staff, the door staff were quite keen for him to come back because he was quite a good tipper. But they certainly didn't know that he was going to, and he wasn't a regular in the sense that they would be able to predict that he would come back if he would come back.
I asked the question of did he ever bleed while he was here, and what color was the blood?
Gets some odd looks. No, he didn't bleed while he was here.
Yeah. Any idea of where he went? Did he make mention of going anywhere else?
No. Not that he told anyone any, at the very least. Or not that they're aware of. Roll me a perception check.
The waitress cut her hand and it's bleeding white.
You
16.
see that there are a couple of different people throughout the room who are watching you, questioning the staff. Probably 3 different people. A gnomish chap.
You want to get hired? We could use a cannoneer.
um,
I don't know what
very opulently dressed.
Cannonball.
Is it just absolutely adorned in silks and jewels, who is drinking at a table sort of over in the far corner of this tavern. With
Can I focus on that guy's mind? Like just surface thoughts, but I want to know what he's thinking about on the surface.
So as you sort of approach to within 30 feet to pick up on it, you'd see that sort of some of the other people at his table are less opulent or less refined looking than this gnome is. There's a couple of humans and a dwarf that both have a number of scars. And as you sort of get to within 30 feet with your perception check, you notice that one of them sort of moves themselves. Their coat sort of falls open, and you see that they have a short sword tucked into their coat.
Okay.
And as you get, sorry.
I want to try to read this guy's mind, but not like approach him outright. I don't want him thinking about me. But I'm just trying to catch if anything would like lead me towards Zero specifically. I don't care if these guys are doing general crimes.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are general criminals, and that there was more concern with who is this person that's coming in and starting asking questions of the staff in this place where we do our crime.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll keep a note of those guys mentally, but
This is our crime hall.
you can
do
keep
our
your
crime.
crime hole.
You just
That's
stay
what-
away with your crime.
General crime is the most misfortunately named army man ever.
He's always the first that gets blamed.
Yeah,
General crime.
I
Okay.
guess some type of
And-
profile, surely.
So most evenings, one of you sort of passes by the fort to see if the candle has been lit, and it's early into the evening on the 13th day when you pass by and see the glow flickering candle.
It's time. We assemble.
Yeah. Delilah would just be holding your like hand axe, just fucking with me. I'm like, oh, fucking finally! It throws it behind her.
But wouldn't it just come back
Maybe.
if it worked?
What? How far did we get on the whole like Casimir's axe dealio? It might take
I don't
actually.
think we will have. Yeah, with the 2 weeks, the time you spent investigating on Zero, and then the time you spent searching for magic items has probably taken up the majority of that.
Could I argue that it might only take like an hour because Delilah is she has telekinesis, so she could just practice this maneuver with Casimir. We wouldn't be able to work on detritus yet, but you know.
Sure, I'll allow that.
Okay.
So you gather yourselves together and make your way to the Thorned Rose, which is a similar, if slightly smaller, tavern to the Boastful Bard that you've just been investigating. Very sort of opulently decorated. It's sort of quite almost like a Moroccan bazaar sort of vibe to it, with lots of hanging silks and the cubbies that the tables are set in are separated by silk curtains. It's almost like a bit like a beach cabana, or a series of beach cabanas, but inside. And it takes you a few moments to spot him, but you do eventually spot Sir Sebastian Wallsmith, sat in a corner with a wide-brimmed hat that's pulled low over his face, and a tan, sort of basically like a tan Mac that he's got the collar turned up on. He's trying desperately to seem inconspicuous, and in doing so, he has probably made himself the most conspicuous person in this tavern.
Can we say Delilah was in her Dorothy Markiplier form? Whatever fucking YouTube I use. The blonde one.
Dorothy Markiplier.
I remember the first name. What was the second one I used?
I can't
Wendy
remember.
Killer. Right. Okay. I'm just gonna use a different YouTuber every time I think about it.
I refer to Dorothy Markiplier.
I was like, I'm sure I recognized that last name, but now I understand that it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just some YouTuber. Yeah, some YouTuber. I think he's like one of the massive ones. Who knows? Anyway, Dorothy Markiplier walks up.
So,
I got my start in Five Nights at Freddy videos, I think. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know what
So
any
yeah,
of those words are.
you guys head up and take a seat at the table. I wasn't sure if you'd seen the candle. Welcome.
Hello.
He's and he sort of leans in and whispers. He's been.
I think
There's
his
another-
culture has been called.
14 Goliaths have been delivered.
Oh,
Uh,
but he's been right. Okay.
we have taken delivery of some more goblins and kobolds, couple more bugbears, and a hobgoblin.
That is very nice. Did he come on his own, or did he come in person, or did he send someone?
He was not there himself. Sent some of his lackeys to drop this set off.
Were they Goliath or
Yes.
you lot?
Goliath, a couple of humans along with him, but it was a Goliath leading the party.
You know his name.
Didn't ask.
The Dreadus looks pensive for the next 2 hours.
So, what's your next plan?
Next plan.
As players, what is the next plan? Do we want to get on with the boat deal? We can have them board everyone up on a boat and then
Yeah, I mean, we spent all that money
join
on
it
the ring.
ourselves.
Kinda.
Well, yeah. I suppose we might as well use it. Okay, so is that the play then? Have them load everyone up on a boat and then...
Yeah.
join. Okay.
Okay, but you mentioned about having them put on a unscheduled voyage, and that. So I took the liberty of making some inquiries as to the availability of certain ships that would be of use. The right sort of ship, obviously, it has to be suitably outfitted for the job, with cages for the beasts. I mean the people.
Yes. Go on.
So I have the Giant's Fury, which is a prison ship mostly, but will suit for the purposes of this. It's currently sailing up from Ragged Point, and will be here in a day or so. We can have the Goliaths, and just the Goliaths, or do you want the whole lot? Ship?
How many Goliaths are there now? Altogether.
28.
28.
Total.
I think. I mean, that might do. What do we think?
Just matters about how easily we can control
Did
everyone.
you say bugbears as well?
Yeah, there's a couple
one
of bugbears. There's about half dozen goblins and kobolds, a couple of orcs.
Obviously the Goliaths would be the easiest to control. Do we think 28 is a good enough net to catch everybody, or should we?
I think so. I think so, because I mean, unless everyone in our character, unless everyone in that cult is a fucking warrior, I don't think we should have too many
hyper elite warrior monks.
Yeah. There's a possibility of a Ragamuffin being able to throw hands, but they specifically are targeting the downtrodden and whatnot.
But we want it to be kind of a heroic thing for us. So
yeah, if we focus on the Goliaths, we can have
trust
you
the
be the
goblins
folk hero.
not to just eat people's faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I think Casimir is
faces.
saying Casimir is saying, yeah, just Goliath because he doesn't give a shit about the others. So that's his input.
So just Goliaths, and then we'll get on the ship with them, and then we'll leave.
Are you going to onto the ship as well? Okay. How would we planning to avoid suspicion?
Well,
I'm going to use a voice mod because I have it.
Okay.
Why don't you just hire Casimir on as an extra guard, and I'll slip on myself?
That's doable. I'm a little bit more concerned with the other Goliath.
Right.
Ship already have many Goliath. I am
yes,
just
have him be in cages.
Oh.
Having one simply wandering the decks would be odd.
Oh, you keep Goliath many in cages.
Do you? I turn to the sorry,
yeah,
lady. What the fucking name you said last time? It was Lady
Markiplier.
Got a voice mod, baby.
Yeah, whatever it was. Fucking, I forgot now.
This is Delilah, Mr. Beast.
Dorothy Wettenkiller.
Oh yeah, that was it. But I think it's
Yeah.
Witten instead of Wetten.
Oh, whatever.
And is it an is it Wetten or Wet?
I turned to Dorothy and
Dorothy, wet and slippery.
will we need a friend for the for the mission, or will he be okay to simply be around in case we need him? Do you think? And I give it like a look
Are we talking
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Tridus?
to Delilah.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Sorry.
If we want the Tridus on the ship, we'll just have him be like a slave. I can carry all of his weapons, and then when
Yeah.
we're ready to
We're going to put the bag of holding in Tritus's
loading
junk,
class, yeah.
and then
Mm.
just fill it with weapons, and then arm all the. So like, if you guys could
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
so-
guards
yeah,
away
we'll say
from
yeah,
where
you'll
the,
say
Detroit,
yeah.
the Goliaths are being kept and on deck, then Detritus can just arm everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That literally, I was thinking that might be actually a good idea. Anyway,
And if there's one god, you're that god, Cassie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just stay behind.
A bongo.
Well, everyone else is
So
like,
yeah, that'll work.
Mhm.
well, Delilah's like, oh look,
Yes.
it's a big bird or something. Oh, big bird.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll turn to
Look at those slave
yeah. I think
mermaids.
I think that will be fine. We can put him in the cage for the time being.
I will be fine in the cage for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um.
And then we
That's
have one
okay.
god. And
How
then I
many?
can-
Yes. How many guards do you typically? We want to make it look, as usual. How many guards do you typically put on? How many people?
The crew that comes with the ship is largely the sailors and the security. They would be guarding any prisoners being transported, and the same with my other ships. It's probably 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen,
Okay.
depending on the voyage.
Probably fine.
I don't know how many the crew the Giant's Fury has on its books, but
Is it a big ship, or?
Oh, it's a very large ship. Yes,
Is it a good ship?
it is a
Man of war. So I have construction going on top of my roof. So if you have banging,
That's all right. That's fine.
I did hear banging. I wasn't sure who it was coming through.
Joke from before about hearing banging.
Giggity.
It's has 5 decks.
5.
Lord of
It's
Deeks.
quite big. I think it'll do though. I mean, it's the purpose of the rules
Some
rather than
250 feet from bow to stern, fore to aft,
quite large.
front to back. I don't know ships.
This ship he's hiring, any gods like combatants wise, anyone coming that isn't part of his company, isn't part of the 2 dozen.
Yes, anybody that we need to, well, anybody that will be asking questions that isn't.
You're the people asking questions. You're the auditors.
No, we're on about because this is an unusual ship, so. Will
I
the crew be-
imagine that Captain.
Whifflebottom.
Well, what was his name? Captain.
Mandalini. No.
Captain Kanai.
Something. Captain Tedrick. Rightwood. Rightwood.
Great.
Right.
That's okay. That's
Just
okay.
calls him Captain.
I think this will
Will
do.
he have his own security, or will it just be your men on there?
Oh no, it won't be my men. It will be his men.
His man. Okay.
Okay, and you're just hiring him to transport people.
Yes,
Transport.
yeah. Very, very much like
That's okay.
my other 2 ships. I own well, not like this one, but my main ships. I own the ships, and I hire a captain who deals with the crewing of said ships, and is responsible for security and safety of the cargo across the voyage.
Have you worked with him before? Is he trustable?
Yes, I think so. He's never betrayed me before.
That's good. That's good. Good enough.
Well, okay, Casimir, you get hired onto that ship, and
Yeah.
we'll go.
Oh, got you. I guess. So when are we? When is the?
Right
now.
when
So
are we
much
loading on and sailing off?
It's a ship
I
at sea, doesn't it? What do you expect?
expect the Giant's Fury to dock probably tomorrow evening. We would then look to load the cargo the following morning, and set off with a favorable tide and winds and things.
Okay. So tomorrow, then following morning, and hopefully that day. Once the cargo has been.
Unless there's some sort of delay that.
Like a storm or something.
Bad weather, that sort of thing, that prevents them getting in on time. It may be a day later.
Okay. Sounds good. So, how are you getting on the ship, Dorothy? Again, remind me. You're muted.
Banging.
All right.
No, that's how she's getting on.
I could come as just another god, perhaps, using my magics to disguise myself.
Whatever.
If we don't want to inform this other captain of our missions.
Yeah, I guess we are trying to keep it as
clandestine, and I look at the idiot and I like wiggle my fingers to make him excited.
Yes, we're trying to let as little people as to know as possible, so that everything runs the same way as it usually would be. And if there's any rats, no one is to find out. That is the purpose of this. So we see how it would play out exactly as it normally would.
Yeah.
So
I have a mini Goliaths you got. Add one more to it. And we'll set off the plan.
Very well. When would you like to deposit your Goliath?
I guess on the morning that we will be loading on. That makes sense most, I think.
Possibly may raise
the night before.
some questions why a single Goliath is being added to the roster at the last minute, but
well, he escaped, you captured him, and then you want to add him to the haul.
It might be good if I have a day or so before to talk to other Goliaths.
Okay. We'll have you in the big batch then.
That is good nickname.
Should I carry the bag of holding then?
Yeah, maybe we'll. I'm not going now, though, right? So that when we're in private, we'll just put loads of weapons into the bag of holding.
Yeah.
And then stuff it.
Well, I think we'll agree on that. We'll probably put him the day before.
Yeah, or 2 days to try to
and
disappear.
then and then we'll I think day before sounds good. Just make sure that you if you need to add him to the list or something, make sure it looks as unorthodox as possible.
Very well. So you will drop him off tomorrow. We'll process him through. Add him to the others. A little. I thought he was a reference.
A what?
A what?
A
Not to this
reference.
new captain.
A reference. Yes.
He's both a reference to
Yeah.
us and going to be a slave in this operation.
He is he works for us as a security,
I am
primarily.
there as a
But the
witness.
reason why we took him along on this mission is because we needed the reference of Goliaths along the way.
Mm.
Other than that, his job is security.
I provide a reference for Casimir so he can get a job.
Think of him as Agent Big Man, and you can be Agent Candlestick. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Candlestick.
It is a good code name.
Very well. Okay. Bring him tomorrow morning. We shall process him through, and then, assuming it all ends on time with the arrival of the Giant's Fury that evening, the rest of you arrive the following morning. We will load up and ship off. You will load up and ship off.
Fantastic. Good day, Mr. Candlestick. And Delilah leaves before she gets the urge to stab this guy again.
Goodbye,
Yes,
Candleman.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. Yes.
Kind of occurs to me how few like YouTubers I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay. I think we part ways.
Oh.
So tomorrow we're dropping off detritus, and then hopefully morning after they're loading on, and hopefully that day they'll be leaving. Hopefully.
Yes.
I mean, there's no. Okay.
And nothing says fun adventure romp like a clerical error. So let's just assume it shows up at time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way back to the Stumble Inn for your night's rest and head to your respective rooms.
I would like to go to the to inform the pirates.
Gotcha.
And I'll leave the message. I guess if I can't find whoever the name is, I'll leave the message with that tavern keep. That is
By the
trusted.
time you get back to the Stumble Inn, Bicken has left for the evening. She's gone home. So you leave the note with the barkeeper.
Yeah. I do keep it
I get
vague,
it.
saying like, plan is go this day, and then just like the name of the ship kind of thing.
That was a vague.
Like yeah. But
There's a
like
plan
I'm not
with this
explaining
shit.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm not saying what's happening.
Times,
I'm not saying we're loading the Goliaths. We're doing that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just giving the essential info that I need.
Good night.
Just a minimum info that the time, the day, and the what ship.
And the crime.
The
Speaking of-
target, right?
Speaking of crime, I'm gonna go back to General Crime and his associates, and I'm gonna buy the Goliath's weapons on the down low, so nobody can trace it back to us.
Okay.
Underground
And we
market
get to
somewhere.
include those NPCs you made up.
Waste
So,
not
Use some disguise self to buy the weapons. Maybe.
yeah, I could do both. Yeah, I'll just lay out safety precautions on top of each other. Now I'm looking
Only
like
persuasion.
This is
check.
where if we had sponsors, we'd do the VPN ad.
yeah, exactly.
Should we kind of source them from different places a little bit, like a little bit batches?
Yeah, sure. We can take our time with it. We have like a day. We'll just run around
Yeah.
getting a bunch of different things. 21.
Just like
I'm in
4 weapons here,
disguise
4
as
weapons
the
here.
Game Grumps, both of them, but in one person.
Yeah, with the 21, you're able to speak to the gnome. Doesn't speak to you, but one of the associates, the dwarven chap, takes you off to another table to discuss the business, and they arrange a time and meet you at the back in a dingy alley, with a crate of weapons of various descriptions.
Hope it's a crate of AK-47s. Oops, wrong universe.
It's like Lord of War sort of style.
The gnome is just a
After,
tiny little Nick Cage.
After a bit of investigation, you realize that these are Chinese AKs and not Russian AKs.
Do they fire all the same? Okay, that's all I need. So yeah, we put a bunch of AK-47s in our bag of holding.
AK-47 from his hat, blew Batman away with a rat-a-tat-tat, but he ran out of bullets and he ran away because Optimus Prime came to save the day.
Make sure we load some RPGs.
Good job.
I live to serve.
Maybe not.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if Angus doesn't say no, yes, we put a bunch of.
Nah, we don't want to
RPGs
blow
in
up the
there.
ship
If
up.
Angus isn't saying no,
We kind of
then
need
fine.
it.
It means it's
There is a
accepted.
selection of warhammers, maces, swords, short swords,
Great
um,
battle axes.
yeah, just that sort of thing.
Okay, perfect. I get enough for our plans to go forward without a
Mhm.
hitch.
Doable.
How much does that cost us?
Three
So
Approximate is
for-
fine. Is it 28 of them?
28 of them. We'll go with, say, an average of 5 gold piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly.
So
150.
140?
40.
100 something?
yeah, we say round up to 150 for the crime surcharge on top.
Oops. Okay, we've gone from like 1600 to 450.
It's something like
Right.
600 to 4.
Spent a lot of money these past 2 weeks.
Better be something with stealing on that ship.
Yeah. Oh, and the cult.
Goliaths.
It's an
Yeah, you
investment.
can't put a price on a life.
We're
Well,
going-
you
we-
can if you're a slave, I suppose.
We're going to free half of you, but we have to sell the other half to fund the freeing of the first half. So
Yeah. I mean,
Divide
look.
us in.
Let me just let me just clarify the
previous
way
one
the way we sell it to the and we'll ask the Tritus to sort of sell this to the Goliaths, obviously. The way we need to sell it to them is that we're setting up a haven for slaves. So we're going to free slaves and send them to this haven where they're going to be safe. We need them to begin this, to start this.
Yeah.
We have to take it from these cultists, and
like how you
Like, we need
have
to
a
get them on
farm
board
to
with
send
that way.
your dog to.
yeah. Don't lead with help us get rid of these cultists, and then we'll have a base, and then you welcome to the base. Lead it with we're making a place for you, and then come with
Yeah,
us,
I was
right?
probably
And,
just
and
gonna
help
go
us
with-
out.
You no like being slave. You want to kill some people. He all takes out the bag from his undies.
Behold the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Or what's in it, rather. Just
yeah.
empties it.
We'll fight for you, but how are we going to? Don't worry. The answer is in my bag. Reaches into it.
Yeah, it's always in my
A
pack.
battle axe. Oh,
Yeah.
a battle axe. Oh, another battle axe.
You get a battle axe. You get a battle
And you get a
axe.
battle axe.
Everyone got a battle.
Everybody get battle axes.
'Cause I don't know if they're going to be like screening the slaves or anything like that, or if they just assume they've already have or whatnot. But again, if one of us has the bag
Hey,
of holding, we can pass it
Hey,
to you.
yeah,
Then
we
you can
can.
use it.
Honestly, if it might be safer for us to have it.
You
And
think
then
they
pass
can
it on,
go
honestly.
looking in his prison pocket?
Probably.
I mean, yeah, probably.
If they're good
I
at the
think
job, they're going to be
a
so
lot less
Squat and
risk if
cough.
you don't have it. I think.
Squat and
I think
cough.
I think it might be safer for us to have it. Honestly.
Yeah, and we'll just like pass it back to you, and it'll tell the
Yeah.
Goliaths who not to kill, so it'll be helpful.
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
yeah. Detritus would have probably forgotten that bit.
Yeah.
There is one woman you would not kill. He
Two.
look like human.
Wait, elf. No.
And then the elf you not kill. She kinda elf-like. Okay, let's go team.
Okay, let's go team.
We could just like wave to them or something. Like, don't
Yeah.
kill these two.
Yeah, maybe
I mean, I imagine I might be
something like
one of us
a
will be the
red
one opening the
bandana or
gate.
something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out the. Yeah, we'll figure out once we're on the ship anyway. The details of how we're.
I mean, also like if we're on the ship, I imagine Detritus could just point us out to the other Goliath.
Hmm.
That
Especially
one
if we're,
there.
like,
That one.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if we both manage to like be the ones guarding the merchandise. You know.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that would be
but-
preferable, right? We'll
Yeah.
see what we can do in the, as we say, loft kind of thing. Like if we can do some wiggle room to,
And
like we
even
might
if-
need.
Let's
Also,
kill
did
stuff.
we get thingy? Is the Sebastian guy coming with us?
No. If
He's
he is,
not.
he's dying. I know later.
You didn't ask him to, and he certainly didn't offer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
just an
I guess the
idiot
only
with good
thing now
control.
is that like if the ship goes missing, he will look for us.
Yeah, well,
It's the only thing.
Yeah.
But like
He's not gonna be looking for Delilah, if nothing else. So I'm set.
yeah.
to fast forward to next day.
Yeah.
So the next day, you take Detritus to the fort, and he is guided inside.
To clarify, at this point, I've given my massive shield and very expensive axe to Delilah and Casimir, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
yes.
unarmed at this point.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very
They're,
unarmed.
they're in the bag of holding.
You're only
guess, do
armed
we
by
wanna-
arms.
Do we want to hand wave the massive shield bit? I think everything else we could put into the bag of holding. If we want to cartoon logic it and use hammer space, we could put the skull in there. But I think it's only like this big or something. So the T-Rex
Generally, the bag of holding is probably about that size.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, like you can wiggle a great axe in there, but I don't know about a great
No,
skull.
we can leave the giant shield somewhere safe.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do.
I just want to be honest. As funny as it would be to have that on the ship.
Unless we just like tie it to the ship or something as a boat.
We could
Where'd this boat come from? Oh well, I won't think about it.
Where's it made a boat?
I mean
Yeah,
where could
That's
we put
metal,
it?
dude.
So
I mean,
it's
just
easily
like-
retrievable.
In a storage room somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't get it on the ship, then
ooh. What if we leave it in the teleport place farm that we teleported to? So then later on from the pirate place, we could just teleport there, grab it, come back.
or we'll leave it with Boyko. He likes skulls.
Well, they're all the way. Wait, did Boyko come with us?
They're all.
thought- Boyko, Sarah, and the other
aren't we?
guy.
Yeah, they're all staying in the
Yeah.
city. I apologize. We leave it somewhere safe, hand wavy.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
not worry about it too much. Let's not spend 30 minutes talking.
I think the
about
teleport place would be a good thing. Like just go
There's,
the next day. And...
there's somewhere that you've left it somewhere opportune that you'll be able to retrieve it from at some point in the future.
it. We'll leave it with Cap. We'll just take up half of a living room.
Because remember,
So you-
like,
Don't
you
worry.
make your
Once
way
we-
into the, into the
remember that we
fort.
might not be able to easily just go back to the city for a bit, right?
Okay.
We gotta be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay to never come back to the city again.
Wanted poster for Dorothy and Casimir, and
Okay,
Dorothy's fine. Like you might be able to.
And
but-
just can we just say that the governor, we ask him to just have it put on the ship somewhere as a interpretive modern art piece for his collection.
I like Carl's idea. Let's just put it in the teleport
Sure,
room.
yeah,
We'll
it's in the
fuck with it
teleport
later.
room. We can teleport it.
Yeah, we just take like whatever it was, a couple hours walk or
Yeah.
or an hour walk or whatever it was. Go
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
leave it there,
Well, then,
ask them to stash it, and then
Detritus is unarmed, feeling
cause that's how
vulnerable.
they see them.
Unarmed but never vulnerable, except for when he's taking a poop. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You just got the two
You head
hands.
into the fort through the main doors and into the large central waiting area that you initially came into the other day. Different sets of guards today than your initial entrance. They have been made aware of your pending arrival, so there's very little waiting before you're ushered straight through into the large central courtyard, and Detritus is led through a set of steel gates into what it appears to be sort of a central processing chamber within the center of this courtyard. There's a door off to the left, a door off to the right, and then a door behind.
That hiss is
and,
back. Guys. Sorry.
Sorry?
The
Hiss is back.
with the vengeance. Yay.
I wonder if it's when I'm back
Oh,
here. it
yay!
just
That
can't-
nothing's changed.
Oh, it's sounded better for me.
Oh no. Could there be a compressor and it's turning up the background noise while you're away from the mic?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe if it was when I was leaning back, it was struggling to pick me up as a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it still doing it now, or are we good now?
It's there, but quieter.
I don't mind it honestly. I've not
I
noticed it
mean,
until these guys.
it's
have-
an absolute rat's nest of cables behind my desk at
Yeah,
the moment, where
it's
I'm sort of
fine.
moving stuff around.
It's not that
there's
loud.
a good chance that there's a power cable alongside the mic cable that's causing some interference.
Hmm.
But anyway, we get onto the ship.
Yeah, Detritus is loaded into the large pen of braziers and Goliaths.
I forgot about
Um,
the braziers.
It's hot in here, Detritus. It's
Getting
really
hot
hot.
in
It's
here,
it's almost
so
like this has
take off
been
all
like,
your clothes.
intentionally set up
Did
to
off my clothes.
hobble the goblin, to hobble the Goliath's intelligence, hobble the goblin, no, hobble the
hobble
Goliaths, whilst they're being contained within the fort. But you're there. Delilah and Casimir stash your shield and await for the arrival of the ship.
Cool. We go
It
collect
is
the
l-
payment for Detritus and we leave the sea.
And the adventure continues. Michael, start rolling.
Finally got rid of it.
Oh.
3 months later, you awaken.
Yeah.
This hero, Casimir.
Oh, you're
You wet
awake.
yourself.
Oh, finally you're awake.
I need
That
a new
night,
skull shield,
when
Casimir.
Delilah and Casimir make their way back to the tavern, Delilah, as you make your way into your room, you immediately notice that something is off. And as you glance around the room, it takes you a second before you spot it, but there is a head on your bed.
Where?
That's what I call bedhead.
Okay, so playing a hyper-focused character is pretty fun because in my mind I'm just like, does this impact my mission at all? Do I care? I'll just leave and get another room. What does the head look like?
Room service.
Jesus.
As you approach,
Are we in the same room or in the separate rooms, right?
As I'm assuming separate rooms.
Okay. Like, I want to know if I'm around,
matter.
basically. Like,
You wanna know
So
if there's a
as you
head or not,
approach
right?
it, you recognize this head, the tiefling head, the head of Akimon.
Yeah, sure.
Is it the person
I was just like, there's one name you better not say here.
from
but
outside
I'm okay with it.
the gates?
The tiefling kid.
Yeah.
oh.
But what strikes you the most is that this tiefling's head, I can't remember, I think it was a blue tiefling or a purple tiefling.
Yeah, it was
The head has been painted white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's in poor taste.
What?
Just like, we're talking like whitewash, like
whitewash.
wall paint, just an emulsion sort of thing. Like it's
Or
just
is it
Dip and a
blood?
bunch of candle wax.
Just like dirty painted, sort of.
yeah. And yeah, the blood's seeping into the sheet and the pillow where it's been rested.
I messaged Casimir. I might need to borrow your bed for the night.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
What? Why?
Also,
what is
come
this?
here.
Nice
what-
practical joke, Casimir.
What does this mean? Why? Do you know what it means?
I'm assuming this means Zero's in town.
This is Zero? Did this?
Or one of his lackeys, perhaps, but I don't actually know his social acumen. Or her, for the record. We should keep our eyes and minds open. They can quite literally shapeshift.
Okay. Yeah, we're sleeping together. Should we get a different tavern for the night?
Yeah, probably couldn't hurt. Might not help, but it probably won't hurt.
Should we hide the head? So that
Should we get a refund on the basis of there's a decapitated head in our bed, and that's not pleasant?
yeah, like
I would like a refund on my room.
so I mean, like,
It is
what, do we
quite
just
filthy,
leave?
I
Do we
assure you.
say anything? Do
I
we
would
hide
like
it
to
and say something?
exchange it for a room that doesn't have a decapitated head in it.
Or at least a smaller one.
Yes.
Can you clean it up with magic? Or
Oh, yes. We could.
maybe we should do that so we don't have questions asked in the morning.
Okay.
Even if we're staying at a different tavern.
Can we like cauterize the wound or in some other way keep it from leaking? And then
Bag it
stash the
or
head in
something.
the bag of holding. I'll clean everything up.
It's gonna be head juices all over the place.
yeah,
It's in like
the interior of a bag of holding is an extra dimensional space.
yeah.
it's a.
Don't worry about the head.
The Netherite just reaches in to pull out a. He's like, and you, doctor,
Wait, what?
this isn't mine.
Yeah.
My one is
Very
back.
common.
'Cause the mechanics of the bag of holding, when you put your hand in, you have to think about what it is you want,
Oh,
There's
okay.
intent there.
Mm.
and that's how you withdraw it. So unless you stuck your hand in, well, head.
I mean, you never know with the treasures.
It looks like
It's like
the head of
no
an
wait,
axe
battle axe.
and
Oh wait,
just
why did I bring out it?
the head of an axe and the tiefling's horns can look similar.
Right.
so.
Sticks
Okay.
his hand in.
So are we moving to a different tavern?
Oh,
Take the
Um,
head, clean up,
yeah.
go to a different tavern.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
be
probably a good
safe.
shout.
Probably, yeah.
So as a note, I have like 10 more minutes before I need to get ready.
Okay, let's
Oh,
let's
I
go.
forgot, lots have
change the
changed,
time
haven't they,
change,
for you?
Yeah. So in that case, let's pick a tavern. Somewhere where we don't be followed, somewhere secure. I don't know. You pick one, and then
The wonky donkey.
yeah, and
Wonky
we can both keep an eye out, make sure we're not followed.
And so if you're looking for something in the same price bracket as the Stumble Inn, you can go to the Gnashing Knoll or the Don't Go In.
We've got a higher
Uh,
price bracket that might actually lead us to 0 quicker.
And it's the last
So
day.
the next price bracket up would be the Cloak and Stagger, the Plot and Hook, or the Clam Hammer.
Ooh.
I mean, one of those
Yeah,
sounds
nice
a
one
lot
for
better than
height,
the other.
But the Cloak and Stagger I also really like. Well, I like one for pun, and then the other one sounds sexy. Which one do you like, Casimir?
You pick. You got the
Let's
money,
go-
so
Let's go to the Cloak and Stagger because you're doing
Okay.
spy shit anyway.
Yeah.
It's thematic.
My two punny
Right.
ones and
We
my
get-
thinly veiled
we get a
picture.
room for us both. Yeah.
But should we get like a room with double beds? That way we can
Snuggle.
like one of us can keep watch, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might be an actual serial killer. On their own.
Yeah. Make sure we lock the door, lock the window, all that shit.
Come and knock on that door.
If you got
we
any
have a horn of
protective
silent
stuff.
alarm. Yeah, we'll use that.
Yeah.
That'll be
yeah.
You
perfect.
do have a horn of
that.
silent alarm, yes.
So what's
Single
that? It
question.
only alerts the person that you want it to alert.
Yeah, it can alert us silently if like somebody triggers
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So like only that person hears it, kind of thing.
Yeah. By that
Cool.
person, you mean both of us, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The horn of silent alarm has to be blown. It's not like an alarm.
Right,
spell.
okay, yeah.
I was assuming
Um,
it was just like the alarm spell, but a magic item version.
Can we?
No, not quite. So it can be blown, but only the people who are intended to hear it will hear it.
Okay, whoever's keeping watch sits with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Perfect.
We
That's
get
fine.
enough
What
time
we
to
do.
keep watch so that we can rest enough and keep watch throughout the whole sleep cycle.
Yes.
So I guess like more than 8 hours then, because it's only 2 of us, right?
I mean, yeah, but not much more because I only need 4 to trance, so I'll be fine.
Oh, you only need 4. Okay, so like an extra 2 hours.
Basically,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little extra
I
nappy
guess we-
time.
10
That's it.
hours. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't add duration on enhanceability. Apparently, I don't know how long that lasts, but I think it's like an hour, so it won't be super helpful. Yeah. Okay. That's
Before
what
we
we
go,
do.
yeah, okay. I was gonna say if it's worth just investigating the head. before we
That's
get
an
to
hour.
bed.
Okay, we can. Do you want to investigate the head?
I'm not good at it. You can, unless
Okay.
it's a medicine check. I can do a medicine check. Like,
Any additional information we can get from the head, Angus, if we roll investigation or medicine?
You can certainly roll, and depending on the roll, there may be some more information to get.
Oh, hello,
Uh,
Lama
I'm-
in chat.
I'm happy
Um,
to do medicine.
I'll do investigation, then you can do medicine. We'll attack from 2 different angles.
Yeah,
Ah, yes. Attack, the best form of medicine.
I got an 18. On mine.
Extreme
Okay.
violence.
So looking at the wound area specifically, there is variation. So one side of it seems to be more torn, and then the rest is quite cleanly cut.
Mm.
Okay, so it's probably cut
So
and
it's-
then ripped off.
And then, right.
Looks more like that it had been bitten, and then the rest, the head removed after a killing bite blow.
Oh,
But this isn't. We're not talking like a vampire bite. This is like a bite that has taken a chunk of neck out.
what?
The werewolf bite. Okay. That's the thing.
Oh,
you guys never
shit.
actually saw Zero die. Not die.
Yeah.
Kill people and eat them. So we don't know
And
how.
take their form.
Yeah. You almost did the very first session. I was trying to steal somebody away into a building, but you just caught me.
Okay, so I mean, first of all, if we see
I
that
assumed he was
tiefling,
gonna
that's
do weird
0,
sex
right?
stuff.
Nope. Eating like an alien.
If we see the tiefling, that's 0. That's first of all. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll just gonna wait out the night.
I think
And I
so.
feel like we still
Keep watch. We also made sure we weren't followed to the tavern, of course.
yeah.
Like I said,
Okay,
like-
roll me perception checks as you make your way
Please
between.
don't follow
the
us, whoever's there.
7.
Hey, double nat 20s.
Natural.
Nice.
Natural
Fuck yeah.
20.
Okay.
I see Zero and he dies actively in front of me.
It just immediately dies as you look at him.
Fucking a gold dragon eats him. I
Uh,
said evil. Help.
Okay. Yeah, you are very confident that you have not been followed from
Okay.
the stumble in to the cloak and stagger.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
You spend that night, and the following morning, make your way back to the fort. You see docked alongside the fort this large ship with a significant sized gangplank that's been lowered down to the dock below. You see crew loading crates and barrels of provisions onto the ship and disappearing below deck. You hear shouts and the sounds of rattling chains and things like that.
I do my best to estimate the group size of the crew, just as
Okay.
I'm watching, observing.
There is probably about 20 or so that you can see.
Okay.
You do see Sir Sebastian on the dockside talking to a fairly large human-looking chap. Probably sort of just under 6 foot tall, but very broad-shouldered. He's currently wearing sort of a sleeveless leather coat, and he's got massively dark, hairy shoulders. And as he sort of spots you approaching, sort of goes, Captain Bridewood? Okay, Captain Bridewood, this is, I've forgotten your name as well. He's going to be joining your crew for this journey. Less said about that, the better. And this is Dorothy something or other.
With
Dorothy H. Bomber guy.
Witten Killer.
And she will also be joining you for this voyage as my personal envoys. Captain sort of narrows his eyes. This is most irregular. While this is all happening, Detritus,
Are they mistreating me, Angus? Is this
they're not.
is
I
an
mean,
opera
they're
nomination?
generally so once you're
Opera?
in the
Oscar.
pens, that you're largely left alone. There's food is sort of thrown in from the upper levels, and but they seem to be fairly confident in their
Trio, like cattle.
security and their guarding. So they're fencing and caging that they're not too concerned.
Do something really dramatic. We need a cliffhanger.
At some point when the ship is under sail and people are busy, detritus will organize for everyone to put out the braziers, and the scene goes dark with just the sound of creaking waves in the background
So,
and metal being pulled out of the underpants.
Yeah.
around the morning time of this morning, a large number of guards come in and start moving the Goliaths out of the pen and into this central walkway, and leading them up to the northern end of this courtyard and into a secondary area. Just got a holding area pre-boarding.
Oh God,
It's a departure lounge, if you like.
No, the
airport
horror
lounge.
A
But
departure
it's,
lounge,
it-
evil.
Everyone's rushing to be first.
It's
on
not
on
the first class lounge. This is the premium economy lounge.
No, it's not.
Drinks aren't free, they're just slightly discounted.
Cliffhanger.
You are loaded onto the ship, and that afternoon, the ship is cast off, and you find yourself in the upper of the two slave decks of this ship, in a cage containing about four other Goliaths. Find out what happens next.
And then
Tweak.
the shot ends with the sound of a key in a door.
Bang!
FBI, open up.
Okay.
Shut that dog
Okay.
up. Shut that dog up.
Interesting session.
Yeah, quite weird.
Yeah. I feel like
we never
we've
have a weird
gotten a
session.
bunch done though, like somewhat efficiently though, so that was decent.
Much more efficient than that meeting last time.
Yeah.
Not as
Right,
entertaining in my
Never.
view. I didn't see any
Uh,
veins popping in Desmond's head.
Right. Okay.
Yes, but we actually
Interesting
made
with the
progression on
head.
some storylines instead of yelling at
Very
one
interesting.
NPC for an hour. 3 hours.
Well, I got a
Oh.
ship,
Yeah.
so
The head
Yes.
was very interesting.
Okay. Well, I'll catch y'all later. I need to
I'm
jet out
just
the door.
booting
Yeah.
up Baldur's Gate 3 before we even say goodbye.
Yes, I am.
Right. Say
See ya.
goodbye, Twitch.
Thanks to everyone who's been
Bye, Twitch.
watching. Thanks, Twitch. Come back next week.
Bye bye.